Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Charmaine and thank you for joining me today. I know it's been a couple months that I've been MIA since I've even recorded anything. Life has been lifing a lot, but I made a promise to myself that I am going to designate and commit to at least posting one day a week on my beautiful channel, Guy Plans Daily. I may change the name because life has taken a different course right now, but for now I'm going to leave the name. Probably for July I may change the name. I'll see how it goes, how often I do record and post content. But again, we're in our wonderful Wonderland 222. And I'm going to be planning for this week, the week of June 9th. I've done most of my pre-planning yesterday. Today is Monday. So I've done most of the pre-planning last night because it took me a little while to get back into the groove of things. So I didn't want this video to be too long. But for this month, I wasn't sure which cover I wanted to use. So I'm just in my old faithful Louis Vuitton in my everyday carry, the personal size. So I'm going to move that to the side because we're not really going to be focusing on that. But I have the notebook cover. I've had this for, goodness, over 20 years. Bought it when I was married at the time. And I've used so many different inserts in it. So every once in a while I take it out just to make sure she gets a little bit of use. I've already done all of my stickers and everything, so I'm just gonna move things over so we can dive in. I do use fountain pens. I have other pens. I have a lot of pens. As in this Planner Society, we love pens, we love stationery. But my go-to for the last 2 years have been fountain pens, and I really love the TWSBIs. And in the blue, I actually have blue ink in this one this time. In the green, I have red. And in this white one, I have green ink. And every color has a purpose. I use other pens for other things in terms of colors in my planner. But those are regular pens, ballpoint pens that I use. For the sticker that I use for this week, I got it out of this Happy Planner Seasons of Color. So this was the book that I used yesterday to use a couple of stickers. I think I only used 2 or 3. I didn't really use a lot. So I'm going to move that to the side as well. When using my planner, let me just make sure I don't knock anything off. Move things over. Same Wonderland 222. I have all of my sections, and to make things a little easier, I added the yellow tab so that it'll be easier for me to kind of flip through. I don't really keep anything in my flaps. This piece of paper here, my homeowners association has changed bank, so this was me just needing that information for this month, but I really don't keep anything really much in the pockets. I did decorate the front using my own cardstock that I purchased. I do like to change the covers. This is a navy Wonderland 222. I don't know if you can see the color well, but it's a navy, and I always make this my own. My phrase for the year is no fear, so I just added stickers in for that. And I added vellum from, I think it's either, well, the 3 places that I get things from are either Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and it used to be Joann's, but as you all know, Joann is no longer, which makes my heart sad because that was very close to me where I live. Any kind of quotes that I've seen throughout the year, I'll write it in here. So I've added a couple since I started this. This is something that I'm not sure where I found it, but it's always in here, and it's in all my planners, but I just decided to use a glue stick this morning so that I don't lose it. I love peacocks, so this has been here from before. My word of the year, the dictionary meaning, scripture, and why did I choose that phrase or word? Normally it's a word, but I use no fear this year. My non-negotiables this year, still the same, nothing has changed. My daily mindset, my daily read, but I added this month, this is something that I had read, I can't remember where, but you know, us planner folks, I don't want to say babes because it's men and women, right? But I wrote this down on a piece of note paper, and I just wanted to have it in my book. I've had it for years. So this I wrote down, I would say about 5 years ago, but I was just moving the paper and having it in the back. So I decided this month well, not this month. It was last month, May. I added them into my planner. So it'll just be, I'll be able to just carry it forward going forward in my other planner. So for 2026, when I use my new planner, I'll have these things. And this is something that is important to me. Business, why do I do it? So this is just personal to me. I believe the last recording I did, I wasn't sure how I was going to use this yearly fold out. And I've just been using it to track my steps. Couldn't really think of anything else to use it for. So right now that's working. Quarter 1 finished, completed, I should say. We're in quarter 2, June. So these are my goals for quarter 2. And when we get to 3 and 4, I will get to those. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to remove this. I need to find my stickers that I can update for May and June, but I can't find them in my book. So until then, these little page flags will just stay here. These are my goals for the month of June. Things that these items that are listed here are specific to me. These are mainly for goals. These are my business that I have to do daily. Clearly, I'm already behind, but this is an honesty system for myself so that when I go back, I can see, okay, this is where you were productive or not. So it has to be truthful for me. And of course, there are other slots for the rest of the year. I don't think I had this. These were blank before in the last recording that I did. I wasn't sure what I wanted to use it for. And I made a decision to use it for my future planning. So this is, I've broken it out into 12 quadrants. So one represent each month. So any plans that I have for next year, I can look here on these 2 pages and I can then just either pencil them in or write them in. These 2 are penciled in because my daughter and one of my best friends want to do a cruise next year, and they might be doing it on the same week or the same time frame. So it's penciled in because once they have everything locked down, then I'll know what I need to do. My vision board, that does not change. It has my phrase for the year. And these are my business goals. I have a lot to do this month. I started pre-planning for July through December. Also my personal goals on here. See, I have my YouTube, that is important. And I have to work on my website for my business. Have not added any pre-planning for July through December, so that's blank for now. And then I'm going to go to the next tab. And this is just things that I need to do at home. And it's just broken down by month. I had Goodwill and things like that to do. I have to do deep cleaning this month. I'm behind. That should be done every quarter. I had to do AC repair and my new routine. So those are just things I have in there. And then I'm going to jump over to this week. I've done a little bit of pre-planning. Let me do some zooming. And I've written the dates in. I kind of like how that looks. Sometimes I use stickers, sometimes I don't. What I have been doing recently, and let me go to June, is, and I can show it to you, and you can look at it on August. So what I'm using this free space here, so you know how we have the full month and then we have that free space on the left. I've been using it to track my sleep, and I've done it for the last 2 months. And other than yesterday, well, this morning, I've been getting decent sleep. I normally sleep about 4 or 5 hours, and the goal for this year, one of the things that I have been intentional about is trying to get to bed at a decent hour so I can get at least 6 to 7 hours worth of sleep. And I did get it on some of the days. I think last night was the only night I got 5 hours. But in May, May was pretty nice. See, I got a lot of sleep in May. I needed it. So I've done some pre-planning for this week already. I haven't added my meals for the day. I just had a little brunch. But I've done most of my pre-planning for my appointments. I think I'm missing one for Thursday I need to add. I have lunch with one of my friends. I have lunch with some of my dinner with some of my old co-workers, but the rest is business related. So this is how I have this week, June 9th to the 15th set up for now. So this, because I'm trying to make this not too long, to be respectful of people's time. This is still the same. I just love those 2 pictures, and then this lets me know that I'm going into my daily section. And in my daily section, so this is June, and this, all I did was print the freebie from Sterling Ink. So this is her June printout. And what I've been playing around with how I want to use this first page that I tape the month calendar on. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go straight into the month, so it would have been the first. But last month I used it for just little quotes that I see when I'm listening to something, or questions for myself. And I find that I like having that to see where my mind was for that month, right? Or the questions or the things that I was asking myself. So I'm already, I don't want to say I'm behind because I'm still on Monday, but on a Sunday when I do my planning, I plan a week at a time, and I manually write this out, and this is important to me. So this means something to me. These are my goals for the week. I need to write in my daily activity. There are certain things that I want to track on a daily basis. So I will write those in there. And I do for the entire week all the way through Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday, beginning this year, 2025, I elected to have them on one page. Even though it's the weekend and I do a lot of things on the weekend, it didn't warrant me having 2 pages designated for that. So I've combined, and so far for the year, that's been working pretty well for me, where I have not felt the effects of just using 1 page for both. So what I will do, as I did here, is I will fill in for so the way I filled it in for the second, it's the same thing I write every single day. And yes, I write the same thing every single day. And repetition is key, right? Because even if you're not doing something, by you continuously writing it, it's going to force your mind and you somehow to start putting that into action, right? So even if I fall off the wagon in terms of, I don't want to, wrong choice of words. Even if I am not consistent in what I'm doing, I am still building that muscle, because eventually it will become part of my habit, which will become a part of me. And I've been doing this for a few years where I write it out daily. When I was in the disc-bound system, I had it printed out. I created printouts for myself. So this exact page, a little different setup, but I had it printed out for the year. But I like the feel of writing. I like the exercise of writing. It just does something for me. So on Sunday, when I sit down to plan, I'll then do the rest of, I'll do the following week, right? And so on and so forth. So this will be for the rest of the year. And I had 4 sections that I created. And I did that quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, because I just wanted to do a quick summary of how I felt and my mindset coming out of each quarter. And this is just for me so that I'll be able to look back and see where my mind was at the end of the year. I also have my spending, so that's here. That has not changed. I do have some empty space that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I left it alone. Oh, I also have, so I have my Goodwill drop-off. So I did a Goodwill drop-off on 5/4. And I just logged all the items that I took to Goodwill and the receipt that they gave. So I also scanned this document because sometimes this paper from Goodwill fades, but I want everything for 2025 to be in one book. So the next Goodwill drop-off I do, I'll just log the items here and then tape the receipt as well. I did do, in March, I did do, it should have been a DR 96, but I ended up doing 3 days and not 4 days of fasting. So I really like how my mindset was, how I felt. So that is something that I want to do again next week. So I have to prep my body for that. So I put 6/29, but I'm going to start it sooner. And back to my reading of my books. But I've been so bad about, actually, let me rephrase that. I read books on my Kindle. I read a lot of books on my Kindle. But this is for me to read a physical book where I have to turn the pages. So that's what this is for. So even though I read a lot of books on my Kindle, this is really for me to read a physical book from my library. All right. And then we are at the end. And that is it. That is a flip through of my setup for the week of June 9th through the 15th. My goal is to be more consistent because I do this planning every week, even though I was not recording it. I do plan every single week, but I need to get into consistency of recording it because then it's something that I enjoy doing. I'm doing it anyhow, so I should just be recording it so I can share. Because I sometimes watch old videos because I get great ideas from things I've seen before. So maybe you can too, and maybe you can give me a few suggestions as to what you think that I can use some of those blank pages for. I thank you. Have a great week wherever you are. And whatever time of day you're watching this, I hope you enjoy it. And please give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe. And I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.